Stay here. Stay here. What? Oops. Daddy on करो. Perfect.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ادفع بالتي هي أحسن السيئة نحن أعلم بما يصفون. This is chapter 23, verse 96. Repel evil with that which is best. We know best what they describe. The next one is chapter 44, chapter 45, verses 14 and 15. للذين آمنوا يغفروا للذين لا يرجون أيام الله لِيَجْزِيَ قَوْمًا بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Tell those who believe to forgive those who fear not the days of Allah, that He may reward a people for what they earn. And whoever does good, it is for himself, and whoever does evil, it is against himself. Then to your Lord you will be brought back. And the last verse is chapter 55, verse 60. هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان? Is the reward for goodness anything but goodness? I have recited these verses to show you what the Islamic teaching is on how to deal with people who are not Muslims, who may in fact even criticize Islam. And for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have been speaking on this topic. And let me mention a hadith in this context as well, that a Badu entered the Prophet's mosque for the first time, and he raised his voice in supplication to Allah, and he said, "Oh Allah, forgive me and Muhammad, but don't forgive others." And when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard that, he turned to him and smiled and gently said to him, Allah's mercy is limitless. It is without bounds. And you are limiting something that is boundless and limitless. Later on, the man polluted the mosque by urinating on the mosque floor. We're talking about the Prophet's mosque in Medina here. The Holy Prophet Muhammad saw how upset everyone else was and how angry the people were that this man had desecrated the Prophet's mosque. So what did he do? Did he ask them to throw him out? Did he ask them to beat the man up? Did he slap the man? He calmed everyone down. And he said, leave him alone. Don't abuse him. Don't hurt him. And when the companions protested, he said that he had been sent to make things easy for people and not difficult. And this man later they told this incident, and he said, may my mother and father be sacrificed for him. He did not even scold me or insult me. He just said, we do not urinate in these mosques. They were built for prayer and remembrance of Allah. Then he called for a bucket of water to be poured on the ground for it to be cleaned. Now, I mentioned this incident because if this happened these days, particularly in those countries where Muslims are in a majority, what will they do? They will kill such a person for desecrating a mosque, for desecrating a holy place dedicated to remembrance of Allah. But then the Holy Quran says elsewhere that the whole earth is a mosque for me. So what are you going to do? You see, what happened in France, people tried to justify it. It's unjustifiable. But people tried to justify it by saying, this man, he insulted the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Yes, he did. And these people, because of their emotional attachment, they became so angry that this man went and beheaded this history teacher. But then some years ago, there was another incident where Muslims attacked various places and so on. And when these people were investigated, one of them had a bar. He had a bar. And they went and interviewed people there. And they said he was such a nice man. He used to sit and drink with us. We don't know what happened to him. How is this furthering the cause of Islam? His stand was he was defending Islam. Was it defending Islam that he opened a bar where he sold alcohol? And he sold that bar in preparation for these attacks, and he transferred all the money out of France to some other country where he was going to escape, but he was caught before he could escape. Is this the image of Islam you're going to present to the West? So we had this excuse. This teacher had shown sketches of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. What had the people in Vienna done? Some criminals took automatic rifles and went to a shopping mall and started shooting people. Who were they shooting? There might have been Muslims there. Muslim children, Muslim women, Muslim disabled people. But then the point is, what are these people doing in the West if they hate it so much? I recited a verse of the Holy Quran to you. Chapter 55, verse 60. Is the reward of goodness anything but goodness? If someone does you a favor, what do? Do you return that favor by stabbing them? By cutting their heads off? All the Syrian refugees who went from Syria to Turkey, mostly Muslim, they wanted to come to Western Europe. And the West rightly asked this question. And they said, yes, we accept that there's fighting going on in Syria. We accept that you are displaced. But why do you want to come to France and Germany and Austria and England and these places? They are rich countries where Muslims are in a majority. Saudi Arabia, Gulf states. Why don't you ask to be sent there? Well, someone must have an answer to this. If you're so concerned about living an Islamic way of life, having Friday off from work as holiday, so you can say your Jummah prayers and everything else. Well, this happens in Muslim majority countries. Why didn't you ask to be sent there? out of the goodness of their hearts, Muslims are transported to these countries. Not just Syrians, many other countries. And then they proceeded to shoot them and kill them. Is this in line with the teaching and the verses of the Holy Quran that I have just read out to you? Chapter 45. Tell those who believe to forgive those who fear not the days of Allah. Are those who shooting and killing and beheading following this verse of the Holy Quran? One Pakistani boy who attacked someone, his parents said, "We are so proud of him." The question is, what was he doing there? What was he doing there? He was starving in Pakistan. He had no job. He had no qualifications. His brother already lived in France and somehow got him into the country. And he was trying to settle in France. Why? You must have an answer to these things. Why? The television is asking why. Newspapers are asking why. These places are so bad. Why do you want to come here? Why do you want to settle down here? You find it very odd. Yes, you should propagate Islam. But how did the Holy Prophet Muhammad propagate Islam? We so proudly say that this woman used to abuse the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he would walk by her house, she would open the window and throw rubbish over him. And one day he went by and no one threw any rubbish. So he went back and knocked on the door and said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, every day you used to do this, and today I went by and no one threw any rubbish at my head. And I thought you might be sick, so I thought I'll come and ask after you." Why don't we talk about following the sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and rightly so. Why don't we follow this sunnah? The Holy Quran says, whoever does good, it's for him. Whoever does bad, whoever does evil, it's against himself. To your Lord you will be brought back. You will have to answer to Allah for your deeds. And I find it very odd, you see. I find it very odd. Many times you have these question-answer pages in Urdu newspapers, especially on Friday. And there are many questions to which the answer is, what he or she is doing is very bad. You should remind him or her that one day they will have to answer to Allah for that. They will have to answer to Allah for that. There's no mention there of what should be done in this world. A woman writes and says, "My husband doesn't give me any money to buy food and so on, and he beats me and so on." The answer is not, go and buy yourself a baseball bat and when he comes in, crack his skull open. But it is, Remind him that this is very bad and he will have to answer to Allah one day. Why doesn't that apply in this case? Why doesn't that apply in this case? The sad thing is that we don't know what our objective is. We just become emotional and start running around and shooting people and so on. And I say often, when the Holy Prophet Muhammad made a claim to being the Prophet and divinely guided, he put his character to the people of his town as evidence of his truthfulness. In the whole world, is there one Muslim who can say, my character is the evidence of Islam is the true religion? Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Sahib, a promised Messiah, he would say to people, you doubt me, you abused me, come and live with me in Qadian. Come and live with me in Qadian and see for yourself. Don't go by rumors and what my opponents say. If he had something to hide, why would he say, come and live with me in Qadian? It doesn't matter how many translations you print and you distribute. It doesn't matter whether it is a translation of the Holy Quran and the Hadith and so on. The non-Muslim will look at the character and behavior of Muslims. And they'll say, you were born into this religion. You tell me that you were taught to read the Holy Quran, etc. You go to the mosque 5 times a day. If all of this hasn't made any improvement to your character, then what's the point of you preaching to me? What will be your answer? What will be your answer? People say, I'm doing jihad by taking an automatic rifle and shooting people in Vienna. So let's take that let's take that statement at face value. So, how many people embraced Islam? Through you shooting these people, how many people embraced Islam? 1? 10? 1,000? How about no one? Let's put it another way. How many people formed a bad opinion of Islam and went away from Islam and created a poor opinion of Islam and our beloved Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam by your deeds? Tens of thousands. That news was shown across the world, all across Europe, North America, Australia, Canada, everywhere. And wherever people saw that, they asked the same question. What had those people done? Muslims had no reply to that. There might actually have been Muslims there. Has any leader of an Islamic country behaved in the same way as the Prime Minister of New Zealand behaved when a Muslim mosque was attacked? She went there to sympathize with those people. And she went there dressed like a Muslim woman would. She covered her head to show respect for our religion and our places of worship. And everyone admires that. Do we show any respect at all to anyone else, or their religion, or their places of worship? Despite the fact that the Holy Quran says, do not denigrate even the false gods and idols of other people. This is an instruction of the Holy Quran. What do? We taunt them, we make fun of them, and where we can, we kill them. And then we write long articles about Islamophobia in the West and America, North America, and this place and that place, and so on. Islamophobia is our own creation. And unless people come and start walking along the path that was shown to them by a promised Messiah, this will continue. This will continue. This is why God sent that holy man. Because of course God knew what was going to happen. But our brothers, our co-faith people, they rejected him. And now look what's happening in the world. Sadr Mirza prophesied that if Afghanistan doesn't change its policy, the rivers of blood will flow in it. And it has happened. And it's happening. Just because you bury your heads in the sand does not mean that God has closed his eyes to your deeds. And he will not punish you for the heinous crimes that you commit against other people. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم إنه تعالى جواد كريم ملك رؤوف رحيم. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم. اللهم اخذل من خذل دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تجعلنا منهم इबादल्लाह रहमुकुमुल्लाह इन्नल्लाह यअमुरु बिल अदलि वल इहसानि व इताइ ज़िल कुर्बा व यन्हा अनिल फ़हशाइ वल मुनकरि वल बग़yi यइज़ुकुम लअल्लकुम तज़क्करून उज़्कुरुल्लाह यज़्कुरुकुम वदूहु यस्तजिब लकुम वलज़िक्रुल्लाहि अकबर वल्लाहु यअलमु मा तस्नऊन।
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah. Qad qamatis salah, qad qamatis salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दोल्लीन आमीन। क़ुल या अय्युहल काफ़िरून ला अअबुदु मा तअबुदून वला अंतुम आबिदून मा अअबुद वला अना आबिदुम मा अबदतुम वला अंतुम आबिदून मा अअबुद लकुम दीनुकुम वलिय दीन। अल्लाहु अकबर। समी अल्लाहु लिमन हमिदा।
Rabbana lakal hamd.
अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दोल्लीन। क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहु समद लम यलिद वलम यूलद वलम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाह समी अल्लाहु लिमन हमिदा। अल्लाहु अकबर। Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Thank you for joining us for our Friday service. Our next broadcast will be Sunday morning, 9 a.m. UK time in Urdu, Call of the Messiah, and then 9:30 a.m. UK time, again, Call of the Messiah, but in English. Please, in your prayers, always keep the whole of humanity in mind and pray that Allah keeps everyone safe and sound and free from harm. Assalamu alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, goodbye.